As públicas nacionais podem ser também relevantes, e infelizmente, nas eleições, nas recentes eleições mundiais, o Brasil infelizmente não é exceção, nós não discutimos o suficiente políticas públicas, discutimos defeitos de adversários. Que políticas públicas poderiam ser importantes para evitar um futuro trágico?
Well, again, it depends on the country we are talking about, but there are three main issues. I mean, the first issue is to regulate the most dangerous technologies. And this ranges from the development of new kinds of weapons, like autonomous weapon systems, killer robots, that some countries around the world are developing, to regulating surveillance systems to prevent the creation of digital dictatorships that follow everybody all the time. And this is a danger in every country. I mean, even countries that lack a sophisticated high-tech sector of their own, every government in the world today faces the temptation of buying sophisticated surveillance technology from the major players like China and the USA, and creating a surveillance regime to monitor the citizens. And we can see in the next 10 or 20 years the rise of such digital dictatorships. Dictatorships based on digital surveillance technology that follow everybody all the time. We can see this happening not just in the most developed countries, but even in some of the most backward countries around the world. In Africa, in the Middle East, we can see the creation of these digital dictatorships. So we need to regulate to prevent that. And so one issue is regulation, which every country should do about itself. The second issue is education, what we talked about earlier. And the third issue is global trust and cooperation, because to deal with the most important issues, most countries will not be able to do it by themselves. Most countries, they don't have the resources, and they are too vulnerable to outside influences. For if you think about the automation revolution, so let's say that your country, you live in a country where many people still make a living from cheap manual labor. There are textile workers and things like that. Now, the government can have rules, laws that protect the jobs in the textile industry from automation. But this will not be helpful at all if automation means that it's now cheaper to produce textile in the United States or in Germany than it is in Honduras or in Bangladesh. So if technology will reach a point when it's cheaper to produce my shirt in California than in Honduras, there is nothing the Honduran government can do about it. But to save the economy from collapsing, and this will have, if it collapses, it has repercussions for the entire regions, then we need to build this global safety net.